As Israel orders a complete seizure of Gaza, it has also been bombarding the area of Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt.
Now, as per reports, the border has been hit at least 3 times in the last 24 hours itself, and it has disrupted the operations at the crossing. Rafah is the only possible crossing point into Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. The rest of the densely populated Gaza Strip is surrounded by the sea to the west and Israel to the north and east. And that means the only way out for Gazans is to flee to Egypt in south.
As per reports citing Egypt and Gazan officials, the strikes forced a partial closure of the border on Monday. They forced trucks carrying fuel and goods for the Palestinian territory to pull back.
لحد امبارح لما حصل انه الطيران الاسرائيلي قصف المعبر، اللي حصل في الوقت ده انه تم اغلاق المعبر بشكل مؤقت امام المسافرين من الجانبين، سواء المسافرين في اتجاه مصر او العائدين لقطاع غزة. وبعد كده تم يعني تصليح الأضرار اللي كانت نجمت عن القصف الأول. النهارده حصل مرتين إنه الطيران الإسرائيلي استهدف المعبر، تحديدا في الصالة أو في المنفذ من الجانب الفلسطيني بهجمتين. الثانية كانت عبارة عن أربع صواريخ من طيارة إسرائيلية. وعلى إثر ده تم إغلاق المعبر إلى أجل غير مسمى.
The crossing is now reportedly open for humanitarian purpose, though the Israel Defense Forces said on Tuesday that it hit an underground tunnel for smuggling weapons and equipment in the Rafah area. But it did not confirm or deny hitting the crossing itself. Meanwhile, Egypt, being wary of a crisis spillover, it is moving to prevent a mass exodus from the Gaza Strip into its Sinai Peninsula. It has urged Israel to provide safe passage for civilians rather than encouraging them to flee to the peninsula.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has expressed concern that the escalation in Gaza was highly dangerous and it will not allow the issue to be settled at the expense of others. He said Egypt was pursuing a negotiated solution to the violence with regional and international partners. Egypt is the first Arab country to make peace with Israel, and it has mediated between Israel and Palestinian factions during previous conflicts as well.
Meanwhile, Israel's defense forces have clarified that there is no official call by Israel for residents of the Gaza Strip to exit into Egypt, and that it has been instructing the population inside of the Gaza Strip to distance themselves from designated areas.
Now, correspondent Jody Cohen has been covering the Israel war for us very closely from Ground Zero, and she sent us this report. Listen in.
I'm at one of the many blood drives that are taking place across the country, and thousands of people have been going to these blood drives today. Many have been turned away because they're just too busy. Now, this afternoon, we've 3 times gone to the shelters because of rocket fire from Hamas in Gaza in central Israel. There have been more rocket attacks in southern Israel, and 2 foreign workers have been killed and 1 is seriously injured. We've also heard of further atrocities. Kfar Aza, which is a kibbutz near Gaza, the fighting ended there this morning, and it's been discovered that 70 civilians were killed there, including 40 babies, some of whom were decapitated. And an IDF officer has said it's not a war or a battlefield, it's a massacre. Now, 4 families from the US have called on President Biden to get involved in the hostage release, and Hamas has said that it will film the execution of hostages for any Israeli strike carried out without prior warning. And Hamas has said that it won't talk about a prisoner hostage exchange before the end of the war. This is Jody Cohen for WION World as One.